What's up, guys? James Carter TV, continuing my 2016 NFL Draft recaps, and today we are talking about the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if you've been watching my videos today, I've been very nice to the Indianapolis Colts. I was very nice to the Washington Redskins. I'm not going to be too nice to the Atlanta Falcons. And it has nothing to do with bias, by the way. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. I have no idea or care about the Atlanta Falcons whatsoever. Or maybe not no idea. But I don't care about the Atlanta Falcons. I'm just giving my opinion about their draft. And I'm not a big fan. So let's just get into it. Let's start with the first round pick. 17th pick overall. And I have to stress that. 17th pick overall. Let me say it again. 17th pick overall in the 2016 NFL Draft. And the reason I emphasize this is because I am about to declare, as so many people already have, but Falcon fans don't want to hear, that this pick was a reach. Keanu Neal is not the 17th best player in the draft. He's not the 20th. He's not the 25th. He's not the 35th. To me. Now, some people may tell you he's about the 30th. That's where I think the consensus was. Maybe, borderline first round, second round talent. Sure, I probably had him in the 40s. Now, I'll give you this. He is a thumper. This guy likes to hit people. He reminds you of Cam Chancellor in that aspect. He wants to lay the boom down. He wants to knock the ball out. And that's his move and that's his deal. Okay, fine. He has a nice build. He's about 6 foot. Has nice size on him, nice muscle frame on him, so that gets you excited as well. You think you got your Cam Chancellor or whatever, fine. Man, this guy has poor football instincts at this juncture. A lot of missed tackles in 2015. I counted 15. Other medium has counted 14, 16, 12, whatever. Point is, it was too much. Too many missed tackles from Keanu Neal. I don't think he's a great athlete, and neither does he. He ran a 4.59 in his pro day, 4.64 40 at the combine. Yes, he's a strong safety, but doesn't have great athleticism. So we're talking about a thumper who's not a great athlete, who didn't start too many games, started a good amount, but not too many games at Florida. I mean, it wasn't a 4-year start or anything like that. So he's still a project. He still has a lot to learn. And when we're talking about the 17th pick overall in the draft, and you have a need at linebacker, and Darren Lee out of Ohio State is sitting right there, and you can take him, but you take Keanu Neal because for some reason you feel as if you need to fill your safety void. I don't get it. I'll never get it, and I give it a C- only because he will start, and I think he'll start maybe the 4-year contract. Maybe he won't even start the last year. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think he's a bad player. I just think it was an egregious reach. In the first round, it hurts. And my worst grade in the first round thus far has been Robert Nkemdiche, who was a D+. So I considered that, but he doesn't have character concerns. So that's the one thing I can say with Keanu Neal. But man, not in love with this pick at all for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, it gets a little better, but man, that hurts. It's the first round. You got to get it right in my GPA scale, and you didn't. Then we move on to the second round, 50th pick overall, linebacker Deion Jones out of LSU. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to play 4-3 weak side linebacker. That's where I'd put him at. Or if he's going to play middle or strong side or whatever. You better put him at weak side. That's where he best belongs. Excuse me. But this is a guy that is a speedster. Ran a 4.39, I believe, or 4.38 at his pro day, 4.39 40. Really impressive. You put on the tape, 1-year starter at LSU. Don't love that, but what I was able to see is he's undersized. 6 foot, 220 pounds, okay. In terms of tackling, has nice tackling ability, but hasn't been able to fully form his football instincts either. Now, unlike Keanu Neal, he's not going for the kill shot. So he's able to ease off a little bit, be a little more meticulous, a little more reserved, view things in front of him, but maybe be a little too long to view things in front of him. But I like the coverage ability here. I like the athleticism here. I may like him better than Keanu Neal as a prospect, to be honest. and I like the potential and upside here. I give it a B+. We move on. I like the pick more. I know that. The prospect is close. We move on to the third round, 81st pick overall, my favorite pick from the Atlanta Falcons draft, and that is tight end Austin Hooper out of Stanford. It's a great value. This is a guy that I thought was going to go in the second round, late second round. He goes in the third, middle of the third. Great value. So I love that. When we look at the prospect, he's a receiving tight end. He comes from Stanford. Tight end U is what they're calling it nowadays. Fine. They haven't gotten a great tight end, but they've gotten plenty good ones, so that's fine. He had the best athleticism, had the best 40, had the best bench press of the tight end class this year. But I wouldn't say he's a great athlete. When you look at Eric Ebron or Jimmy Graham or Rob Gronkowski, I think he's not at that level. Although I'm sure he might be as fast as Rob Gronkowski and Jimmy Graham now that I think about it. But those guys win on their size. Austin Hooper doesn't win on their size and strength on his size and strength like they do. But in terms of speed, I can see that. He needs to be more of a thumper. He needs to develop a mean streak. He needs to put his shoulder down and just, lay linebackers down. And I think he has that frame to do that, but he just doesn't play that tough and that rough. And Kobe Fleener, who came out of Stanford, very similar in that aspect. So hopefully they're able to coach him up, get him tough and rough. And I think he may not start initially because of that, but I like the receiving upside here. So much so that I give it an A. We look at the fourth round, 115th pick overall, linebacker Devin Campbell out of Minnesota. Now, you heard me earlier talking about how I liked the Deion Jones pick. I gave that one a B+. I said good athlete, a really good athlete, undersized, but I can get it. I can get it. And from what I was able to see in terms of production on the field, I was able to see it. He did a good job. You look at Devin Campbell, no. This is a guy that ran a 4.5, 8.40. So people have been stuck up on that saying, look at that. He has pretty good speed. And he does. I mean, that's good speed for the linebacker position. But, man, I didn't see anything on film. I mean, I saw a guy that was missing tackles, unable to just view things coming, biting on play action, not making a consistent impact on the football field whatsoever, lost a lot of the time. I don't know if he's new to football or what, but man, someone needs to teach this guy the game because a lot of times didn't know what was going on around him. I mean, this is a project. This guy needs to be coached up. I'm not sure if Dan Quinn is willing to do it because I think it's a 2-year, 3-year project for this guy. I think he's going to make an impact on special teams, and that's what saves this pick's grade for me, but I only give it a B-. We move on to offensive guard, taken in the 6th round, Wes Schweitzer out of San Jose State. The Falcons traded for Andy Levitre in free agency, traded for the Tennessee Titans. Levitre came in, started off well, then tailed off. So I think the need at guard is there. They take Wes Schweitzer, who I think could fill that void, who isn't a great athlete, but was a starter at San Jose State, has not too much upside to him, but has a lot of experience and probably a good amount of ability still left in him and potential. So I give this pick an A-, and then we end with the 7th round wide receiver Devin Fuller out of UCLA. And I think I always talk about this. I think this is what the 7th round is about. It's about finding athletes that can get on the field and play for you. Now, although I always say that I don't love this pick as much as I do other 7th round picks because I don't think this guy has what it takes in terms of size. First of all, this is a guy that played quarterback coming out of high school. Came to UCLA to play quarterback, but Brett Hundley was in front of him, couldn't play. Didn't have great production at UCLA. You look at his size, it's horrible. It's 6 foot, 194 pounds. Gonna have to put on size fast before he gets killed in the NFL. But kick return ability is there. And punt return ability is there. So I won't give it the A+ or A I normally give. I'll give it a B+ because I'm not sure he's going to make it. Unlike other 7th round picks, I don't love his chances, but I still like them. And this is, again, what the 7th round is about, finding athletes and hoping to turn them into football players. So, you look at this draft, and I put in all these grades, and you put them in my report card, and the GPA calculator gave a final grade of 2.52 for the Atlanta Falcons. Ouch. Probably the 4th worst grade I've given out thus far. Don't love the Keanu Neal pick. Deion Jones, I think, could really be something. Austin Hooper will definitely start a tight end in the future, but that's it. And when you look at 2, maybe 3 starters 5 years from now, maybe 3, like at the very most, the upside 3. Man, I don't love it for the Atlanta Falcons, and I think they really missed the ball on this one. Darren Lee was sitting there, and man, I'm telling you, the Atlanta Falcons are going to regret passing on Darren Lee for years and years and years to come. Until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.